It will help you to remember to trust in the magic, for it is as easy to manifest a castle as it is a button, as our dear, dear friend Esther and Abraham have told us for many years. To us, the big things are no different to the small things, as you would call them. So ask for what you need, and we will give it to you. Hi everyone, it's Heather from True North Spirit Medicine. How are you going today? I hope you're well and that everything is flowing smoothly in your world. Today I'm going to be doing another oracle reading channel, and again I'll name it after I've filmed it. I feel like I just want to get straight in actually today. I feel like there's things to say. There's always things to say. I'm going to use two decks today. One of them's a new one, which is quite exciting. It's called Art Oracles, and it's by Katya, somebody, and Mikkel, I don't know, sorry, I can't pronounce your names properly. But I'll put the names in the description box below. This one's really new to me and it's very quirky and a bit weird, and I really like it. And I wasn't sure if I was going to use it today, but I pulled one this morning asking if I was going to use it today, because some of the pictures are a bit rude. Which is okay for an adult only audience, but not necessarily okay for you know, the algorithms on YouTube or whatever. I don't want to get creepy followers. So yeah, I was like, I don't know if I should use this, but it kept, like, you know, singing at me or whatever. So I drew one and it was perfect, and I'll show it to you in a minute. So, and it's not rude. And the other deck I'm going to use is Colette Baron-Reid's The Spirit Animal Oracle, which I have used with you lot before, but not for a while. I don't think so. Yeah, they're the two we're going to be working with today. Yeah, I've chosen one. I think I'll choose the other two now. Two, I said without thinking, so I guess we're doing three altogether. Yeah, so again, best guidance for those people watching whenever they watch. Ooh. Sticking together. The White Raven Spirit, Trust in the Magic. I don't think I've seen that card before. It's nice. Well, that's interesting. And the crows, must have been in the trees next door, were just making a sing-song, having a parliament this morning. Like there was heaps of them, just gaw, 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 gaw. And we've got Raven. That's interesting. Okay, and another one, please. And time to collaborate. All right, I'll go through the cards afterwards, or through the channel probably. Okay, so I just want to crack on, I think, and I'll talk about the merchy stuff later. I remembered my post-it note today. Hooray! I apologise if there's any weird rustly microphone sounds. I tried to put it in a good spot and then I plaited my hair, and then anyway, apologies if you get some rustling. I'll try and, here we go, that might be better. So many things to think about. What was I going to say? I don't know, something. Yes, that should be okay. Get everything out of the way. Just move the cord. Okay. So let's see what they've got to say, our lovely Council of Elders. So you can just take a couple of big deep breaths as we settle in and welcome the higher order energies to come closer to us today as we breathe in harmony with their essence and that of each other and that of the earth and all inhabitants. Greetings, dear ones, and thank you again for sitting with us today. We appreciate your gentle entrance, shall we say. We thank Heather, as always, for guiding you by the hand to sit at our table, this grand feast before you at which you are always welcome, always. We know your hearts, dear friends, we know your hearts. You are always welcome at this table. You deserve to be here. You have had lifetimes to prepare yourselves to be here now. As we show Heather the planetary alignments that are happening in the skies at the moment, and again she will point you towards masters or mistresses of their craft, like we want to say the Honourable Pam Gregory, who will tell you the exact numbers and angles of these alignments that we show Heather. She sees the colours and the patterns. It is beautiful and it is powerful. And in a way it looks to her like light focusing down through the lens of a microscope to a single point in time. And that time is now. My friends, that time is now. We must stay in our heart energy and stay focused on the highest timeline at all times, my friends. If you find yourself slumping down into the lower chakras of material or greed or money or fear or any of those narratives that the mainstream is trying to keep you in the flow of, because when you are fearful and you are not connected to source energy, you are easier to manipulate, my friends, as most of you already know. So if you find yourself slumping down into that state, literally imagine your heart center, this beautiful emerald green heart center, and square your shoulders to the world, my friends. Lift your chin, look to the horizon and above. Breathe into your heart, breathe into your heart, breathe into your heart. And as you control your breath and as you remember to look up, not down, and as you remember to breathe into your heart, you will then start to create, enhance the higher timeline of which we speak. So at the moment there is a debate, shall we say, to be polite, in Heather's home city about a beautiful inner city sacred parkland. And some people or another want to demolish this and build something temporary. So she will join the protests and share the news and be the action, the person on the ground. It's fire horse, remember, you must take action on your dreams and your goals. So she is doing that, but at the same time, my friends, she is also holding space for that beautiful parkland to stay whole and protected and beautiful and green and fecund and fertile and precious. So you see how things can work at once, many things can work at one time to take us into this higher timeline. So even if you are getting a little worried in the back of your brain about things in your life, which is completely normal, it is, part of the human experience, because you forget your infinite abundance. Then as soon as you can, you bring yourself back into that higher timeline. So instead of getting angry at these local politicians who are focused on the greed, Heather can bring herself back and visualize the bigger picture of the Gaia Earth segment, shall we say, that piece of parkland in the city, remaining whole and sacred and loved. You understand what we are saying, yes? This example is applicable for everything in your lives, my friends, for everything. For we know we are infinitely connected. That beautiful mycelium network that many of you have seen under the ground, connecting the mushrooms and the trees and the plants, we have a similar thing above the ground, my friends. And of course it is measurable by science, but then mainstream science have removed it from their equations for nearly 100 years. The 0-point field is measurable. The void is measurable. The void is full of love, joy, beautiful golden light. It is not scary and fearful and black and dark. It has abundant energy and power in it that is yours to tap into and take from. Because as you breathe into your heart and expel energy, that is you giving. There is symbiosis in all things, my friends. There is symbiosis in all things. We wish to point Heather to this first card, which is the Art Oracles card, which she was not sure whether she was going to use or not because they were a bit rude. We think that is funny. And the artist is Albrecht Dürer, who some of you may have heard of or some of you may have not. And the perfect line in this card, which we will show to you now, it says, apocalypse then. There are other words, but they are the important ones. And it is this phrase, this short sentence that resonated with Heather when she drew it for you this morning. And she knew then that we were going to talk to you about timelines. Because the saying is, the movie was Apocalypse Now. And all of those post-apocalyptic dramas and movies and things that people produce, they are almost seen to be documentary-like, dark, grey, fearful, mechanized future full of as much war and bloodshed and greed as you have now, but that is not the truth of it, my friends. That is not the truth of it. And this phrase here, apocalypse then, is the most key thing that we could say to you perhaps all year. And again, we show Heather these alignments in the sky that are propelling this new timeline forward and reminding you of our opening statements about you having survived, lived, thrived, struggled through many lifetimes to be here now, to change this timeline, the old timeline of greed and fear and war and corruption and dark, 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 into light, 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 love, compassion, integrity, collaboration, joy, abundance for all. So this phrase, apocalypse then, instead of apocalypse now, could not be more prophetic, my friends. It is a beautiful, timely, perfect reminder that Heather has drawn from a pack of maybe 50 cards out of the blue for you, out of the blue for you, reminding you to stay in your beautiful heart space, reminding you to envision and feel into and speak of only the highest timeline. It is not, as they say, spiritual bypassing, because we are aware of what is happening in the world. We are just choosing not to see the things flying in, but seeing the love bubbling up. Hold those places in as much love as you can, even when you hear the news on the radio, or even when the colleague at the water cooler station, for example, starts to talk of the current destruction. Then in your hearts you can see those people happy and healed, see that land being peaceful and joyful, tasting the beautiful dates from the area, for example, or the beautiful poetry that has come from many generations of that lineage. Beautiful poets, my friends. The mosaics, the everything, the art, the love, the compassion, the community, the friendships, the family, all of those things that you and I are lucky and grateful enough to have, they can have too again, but they need our help. To hold your heart as high as you can and pass it out into the world as often as you can, my friends. And then this apocalypse then will be part of history sooner than we think, sooner than we think. And that is hopeful for all of us, my friends, hopeful for all of us. And we want to congratulate and thank you for your work in this field, my friends. It is powerful, it is sometimes tricky, it is necessary. It is what you are here to do. And for that you have all the support in the world, my friends. You lean on us, you lean on us, you lean on us. Next card, White Raven Spirit, trust in the magic. Aha. For maybe 2 or 3 weeks now, Heather was feeling very sad for events in her life and was working to do this very activity that we have been speaking of, to raise up into her heart space and to keep her energy as light as possible. And so she asked us, the universe, so to speak, for some guidance and reminders, and that technique that she has called Set the Symbol. There is a video she has made, she can link below. The title has been changed to How to Talk to the Universe in 5 Easy Steps. Because don't we all love 5 easy steps? So anyway, she has asked us for specific symbols and has been overjoyed and pleased at the rapid accuracy of our response to her questions. Within hours, we have answered her in funny ways. So we recommend you try this technique, my friends, if you have not already, or use it again if it has slipped out of your daily usage, because it will help you to remember to trust in the magic. For it is as easy to manifest a castle as it is a button, as our dear friend Esther and Abraham have told us for many years. It is as easy to manifest a castle as it is a button. To us, the big things are no different to the small things, as you would call them. So ask for what you need, and we will give it to you. The last card, Ant Spirit, time to collaborate. Haha, jigsaw pieces fitting together on a card with some ants. We will show you the card. Collaboration with the right people is important here. Not only is it becoming easier to manifest, easier to speak with us, easier to hear us, easier to listen and follow our guidance, but it is also easier to spot those who are not in their fullest integrity, shall we say. And just as you might put a bubble of love and light around parklands or countries or zones where there is conflict, or remember that you can put these big 26 meter, 8 feet diameter bubbles of light around yourselves, my friends, and watch as the people who are not in their integrity just stay away. It is beautiful, it is powerful, and it is your birthright, and it is more important than ever to keep your light, to keep your energy as pure as you can, shall we say. Pure meaning connected to us, connected to love, connected to light, connected to source intelligence, connected to the community that supports and loves you and helps you to guide along your right path. We are showing Heather like a mountain climbers climbing up a mountain, and as you get higher and higher, some people can't hack the altitude, so to speak, and so they might slow down or they might drop off, so to speak, but not fall off the mountain. And you can just keep climbing. You have your own team of supporters that will climb with you. We are showing Heather and a helicopter to come in if you need to drop supplies or help you to the top, or you can create a hot air balloon and fly up, or a, you know, skis pulled by sled dogs, or, you know, doesn't have to be a struggle. The point being that the higher you go, the others will drop away. The others will drop away. And allow them to. Do not invest your ego in those from the past. It will not serve you well, you know. It will not serve you well. So stay in your heart. And those other heart-based, heart-centered people will be the ones that come in and collaborate with you. And those jigsaw pieces will slot together easily, instead of trying to force them in like you do sometimes when you are doing an actual jigsaw puzzle. And then it is funny. It's like, no, no, no. Of course it doesn't fit. So do not, no, force the things that do not want to fit. Allow for the ease and the grace and the flow of life. Trust in that magic that will align things with you and for you. It is though we are sweeping the paths ahead of you, my friends, sweeping the paths ahead of you. And this is for each of you individuals, but also for the whole of humanity, including the things that might be called artificial intelligence. We are clearing the pathways and allowing for things to step up, to come in place, so we do not go down further dark pathways. We stay entrusted to the light. We have your back, my friends. We have your back. We always, always, always have your back. We invite you to take a couple of deep breaths with us as we take our leave on this day, my friends. We thank you again for our presence in your lives. We thank you again for the work that you do in your daily life, connecting to nature, staying hydrated, resting when it's important to rest, and loving those who are within your orbit. We see it all, we know it all, and we love you dearly for it. Thank you again, my friends, and we will talk to you very soon with very much love, and so it is. Aha, lovely. Excuse me. That was nice. And that was kind of interesting from my perspective. Like, there was a few times within that time period, however long that took, that I forgot I was channeling, you know, which is kind of interesting. I remembered when they talked about me in the third person, because that's always a bit funny. But yeah, it was really. And they're showing me it's like that's just another indication of how close they are, how much more closer, bad grammar, but you know what I mean, are coming to all of us. Do you know what I mean? That this veil, the other side, all of those metaphors or whatever that we use to talk about this difference in vibration, really that's what it is. It's just a higher frequency, like a higher note on a scale. Yeah, how much that is, the division is dissipating, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And that was kind of their message throughout, wasn't it? Like, we have infinite power to tap into and channel into creating this, you know, utopia, not dystopia, you know, and to help push that along as much as we can, and keep tapping into that infinite sea of love that is with us, and getting closer by the day, you know, to pour out through our own individual vessels, through our own individual heart centers into the world, to bring that timeline forward faster, basically. Nice. And I haven't opened my eyes yet still. Yeah, thank you. That was quite lovely. I feel all light and floaty. It's quite nice. Thank you. I was going to talk about merch and stuff, but you know, I'm just pointing downwards to the description box. I cut and paste the description basically, except for the first 2 paragraphs every month. So all of the links to all of the stuff is there below. So just click on the description box if you want to know other things that I can do, and I can, you know, you can commission me to design, you know, sort of basic graphic art stuff as well if you want, because that's always fun. I feel like I just want to stay in this floaty space. Yeah, thank you. Oh, thanks for liking and share the videos and stuff. If you can comment, that apparently really helps the algorithm. I feel weird asking for comments, but you know, that's what you got to do, because the world's a strange and interesting place. Yeah. I feel like I've just woken up from a nice dream, actually. Yeah, take good care of yourselves. Stay hydrated. Do the box breathing if you get a bit stressed. 4 in, hold for 4. 4 breaths in, hold for 4 breaths. Breathe out for 4, hold for 4. That's box breathing. So think of a little square when you're doing it if you like. Get out in nature, touch nature as much as you can. Pat a pot plant if you can't, you know, get your feet on the ground or whatever, and hydrate and rest. And take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Yeah, I'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Much love. Bye.